Welcome to my first ever haul video. I have yet to do a video like this. I've done some other kinds of videos. I did a live play, not live play, but like a recording of me and my mom playing a game. And so another thing I thought I could do on this channel was do some like openings and unboxing of things that relate to kind of, TTRPGs and just kind of board game stuff because that's one of my interests. So I have a haul today that I got off Amazon. So firstly, I have the Marvel Multiverse X-Men expansion for the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. So that's very exciting for me. I'm planning on doing a Secret Wars campaign, so there's a Secret Wars book coming out this August. That would be August of 2026. So I also have that pre-ordered. I also got the Spider-Verse expansion and the Avengers expansion. So I now have, I think, every single book for this game that they've come out with so far. But the other thing, the big draw to this video, I think, is probably the Heroclix. So, in all honesty, I don't make a whole lot of money, and so these are the two cheapest bricks I found on Amazon. I think they were like $30, maybe $40. And so I just wanted to do like an unboxing, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about the actual game of Heroclix. I just got these figures to use for the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. So we'll crack them open and look at them. And I'm probably not going to go over like card abilities or anything like that. I just want to see who I got and kind of maybe talk about some comic history if I know the characters. So we're starting with the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. And out of this one, there's not really any specific character that I'm really hoping to get. When we get the Iron Man one, there is a character that I specifically want because I did a video about them on my channel where I do long form videos that are like scripted and edited. And those are about comics and sometimes cartoons, but mostly comics. So let's open our first box. Okay, there we go. So take this out of the way. So with the foam out of the way, we have got a thug. Oh, a thug, sorry. There's Spider-Girl. This is Vermin, and some of the figures in these sets, I don't know if they're like, I think they're called chases, but they're in like this black and white styling, and I kind of like them, and it works really well for me because if I'm doing a Secret Wars, it's nice to have variants of characters, so I can have more than one version of different characters. And then she's backwards. Here we got Mary Jane, and then flip it back around, and we got Mysterio. And so I'm assuming that this power-up effect is for Mysterio, if I had to guess. And that's a really nice looking, realistic looking Mysterio. The texture on his clothes and everything is really nice. Let's move on to our next one. And I don't know, some people on Amazon were saying that their bricks were opened and resealed and all that. Since I don't really care about the rareness, and I'm just looking for figures for my Secret Wars campaign, I don't know how much I care if it was resealed, but as far as I can tell, this wasn't. It seems... I mean, everything's taped and everything, so I don't know. I have a lot of Heroclix, but most of the ones I bought are on lots on eBay. The only ones I bought and opened out of boxes was one set that was like indie comic characters, and then I got some sets that were... Hulk that I found at Ollie's, which is just like a store that resells stuff that doesn't sell well, as far as I know. So, first up, we have Frogman. And the cool thing about Frogman is his dad, I believe his dad went by Leapfrog, and his dad was a villain. Well, when this guy came of age and found the suit, he decided he wanted to be a hero. And then we've got Hobgoblin, but he's done in that black and white styling, so that's really cool. And we got Silk, who I'm excited about. I was hoping I'd get Silk. I mean, I didn't have anyone that I was, like, super wanting from this set, but I don't think I have a Silk figure, so that'll be nice to have. Jagger, I already have one of her, but it's a variant, so that's nice, because I can differentiate them. And then we just got a NYPD officer, which anyone that plays a lot of TTRPGs knows that those things like thugs and NYPD officers are just nice to have, as just kind of random NPCs. Okay, so onto our third box. Okay, so another NYPD officer, which is not that exciting, but that's okay. And then we got Betty Brant. Yeah, Betty Brant, who is someone that works at, I think she might be J. Jonah's secretary, but she works at the Bugle with Peter Parker. This is Toxin. That's nice. I like having Toxin because I don't know if I have a Toxin. I know I have a Carnage and a Venom somewhere, but they're the ones I have. I think are like Jada Toys Nano Metal figs, so they're a little bit big. So I like having the smaller figures that are more D&D scale. We have Anaconda of the Serpent Society, and then here we have another one of those like black and white variants, and this one is Speed Demon. Okay, so here we got yet another thug. That's our second thug, so we have 2 NYPD officers and 2 thugs. So hopefully I don't get too many more of them, because they are nice to have, but I don't want just a whole bunch of them. We've got a black and white version of the Kingpin, and that actually looks really cool. I like that a lot. We have Death Adder, who I don't really know anything about, but he looks like Savage Dragon. So if I ever need a Savage Dragon, I have something to represent him. And then we got Cottonmouth, who is part of the Serpent Society. I don't know, maybe Death Adder is part of the Serpent Society. And then we've got this cool vulture, which I already have 2 Heroclix vultures, so it's not super exciting, but that is different than the ones I have, so a little bit exciting. Okay. This will be, once I do this box, we'll be halfway through. We got another NYPD officer, so that's a little disappointing, but it's okay. I'm sure I'll find a use for him. We got Vermin. We got another of those black and white Jackals, because I think that was one of the ones in the first thing was Jackal. Which Jackal is like, he's a Spider-Man villain. He's the one that cloned Spider-Man, and led to like the whole clone saga that people don't like. And then we got Mr. Hyde. And then right here, we got this cool Electro with the power effects, which I have a couple Electros, but I think this one has the coolest. The one I have in his classic costume I don't think has any effects, so I like having one that has the electric effects above his head. Okay. Our next one. Number 6. So we are now over halfway. Okay. So, I'm not sure. Black Mamba, who I think is a member of the Serpent Society. Another Betty Brant, which is okay because she looks like a generic enough person that I can use her for NPCs. Green Goblin. A nice classic Scorpion. I like that a lot. Yeah, he's even got the paint over his like nose and mouth that some people don't like, but I like the classic Scorpion look. And then here we have Spider-Man 2211. So, Spider-Man from the future. And then there's this web thing. I'm assuming that is for him, the Spider-Man 2211. Okay. We got a duplicate of that really cool Electro. We got a really cool Venom with the tendrils coming off. We got Rattler, who, again, I'm sure is part of the Serpent Society. I don't really know much about Serpent Society, to be honest. J. Jonah Jameson, and then another thug. So, I think that's 4 thugs now. So that's a little disappointing, but I'm not really too torn up about it. Next one, we got Black Mamba. I think, yeah, we just had her with the chameleon that I was talking about. Another thug, unfortunately. Jackal, and this is cool because this is the regular Jackal, the regular green, and not the black and white one that we've already got. And then this is Norman Osborn, so that's really cool to have. And then Puff Adder, another Serpent Society, I'm assuming. That Norman Osborn's really cool. That might even work as something like a statue or something, especially if you cut it off the base, which I don't typically do. Second to last one of this break. Yeah, got it. Cape Killer, who I don't know anything about, but there's a shield symbol on there, but I'll look them up later. Another Betty Brant, I think that's our 3rd one. Mary Jane, which I believe is our 2nd one. I'm not. That's fine. I like having some regular NPCs. One of the black and white versions, but this time it's Death Adder. And then a nice Moon Knight, which I already have a few Moon Knight Heroclix, so could come in handy during Secret Wars, we'll see. We got Superior Spider-Man, but it's in that cool black and white styling. I would have liked to have a regular version, but that's cool too. Another Mary Jane, Tarantula, a Stiltman, and these Stiltman are cool because the way the leg segments are is if you get multiple Stiltman, you could like make them real tall. And then another Rattler, which I don't really care that much for, but the Serpent Society members might actually be useful if I end up doing like a He-Man campaign and I need some like generic Snakemen. So I'm not too torn up about it, but I will be back in a minute to do the Invincible Iron Man unboxing after I clean up some of the mess that I made. If you're enjoying this video, consider checking out my Patreon. The voicing, editing, visuals, everything that goes in this video is all one person, and that's me. And I really would like to do this for a living, and I currently have no patrons, so if you want to be my first patron, go check out my Patreon, and that's patreon.com/DukeEclipse. Okay, I got my trash cleaned up, so let's do these. And I went ahead and took the plastic off the outside, but I have not opened any of the boxes yet. And maybe I should have to make this go faster, so I don't have to cut the tape, but I mean on camera. But, and I think this is an older set, so this one does not have the that piece in the front. So looks like we got a nice big Juggernaut. And then, this figure's real cool. It's Iron Man and War Machine. Back to back. Then we got Happy Hogan, who I might have to warm up and fix so he's not leaning back, because I don't know if you can see that, but he's leaning back pretty far. A nice Crossbones with a like a minigun. And then Freak, which I already have this. I have a Freak. I assume it's that exact one, but I don't know for sure. Next box. I'm glad to see a big figure like Juggernaut right off the bat, though. Oh, and I told you that there was someone in here that I really wanted. And the one that I really want out of these is actually advertised right on the side of the box, real big. And I recently did a video on them on my other channel, my Duke Eclipse channel. And it's this guy right here, Deathshead, which he has an insane backstory. If you want to check it out, you can go watch my video about him. But this has got Alpha Flight on the side, and then him, and then on the front it says Invincible Iron Man, and one has just Tony Stark in the Iron Man armor, and then War Machine and Iron Man, and then featuring the Rings of the Mandarin, and then it has some more of the figures you can get down there. And I don't really care about the Rings of the Mandarin all that much. I might see if I can trade someone or something for them. Take them to a local shop or something, because I don't really care. But here we have Brothers Grimm, Puck, who I have one of, but it's not this one. It's one where he's like standing on his hand. And then here we got Bulldozer, who I believe is of the Wrecking Crew. I don't know if I showed a good Puck. And then we got Pepper Potts, who I think I have, but I don't know if it's this version. And then we have Ghost, which I think I had a Ghost, but I think it was broken. So next up, we have another Iron Man armor. I like this one. It's got the teal on there. I don't know what it is about teal, but teal always makes everything look futuristic. And then we got Pile Driver of the Wrecking Crew. And then we got Sasha Hammer, which looks like a recolor of Spider, like Penny Parker's mech, which I don't know, maybe her mech's a repaint of this, I don't know. But either way, got them. And then Justin Hammer. And then, over here, we got Dreadnought. So this is our fourth one. Oh, and I was just talking about it, and there it is, Spider. And then we got Magiagoon. So, a nice generic guy, maybe a noir detective or something. I mean, like, for me to use it. And then we got Unicorn. And then we got Absorbing Man. I love Absorbing Man. I'm glad to have him. And then we got King Hyperion, which I know who Hyperion is. I'm not sure who King Hyperion is. I don't know what run that's from or anything. Okay, next set. really hope that I get a Death's Head in here. I watched some unboxing of these on YouTube, and I saw some people get multiple Death's Heads, if I remember right, but I don't know if they were opening breaks or if they were just opening boosters that they bought. But either way, I hope I end up with a Death's Head. I see a repeat. So we've got Ironmonger 2.0. We've got Blizzard, who I already have from one of the sets that I bought off eBay, and Centurious, who I already have from a set I bought off eBay, and then we have a repeat of Puck. And then we've got this Iron Man, which I may or may not have, because there's a lot of Iron Man Heroclix that use that mold. Or a similar mold where he's blasting off like that, because I think even Iron Lad might have one of those, and I wonder if I think Iron Lad's mold would have to be different, because he has a nose on his suit. And I don't know if I mentioned it, with Spider, but I already have a Spider figure, this one from earlier, for one of the sets I bought off eBay. So our next one, we have Iron Slayer. Never heard of him, but he looks really cool. Is it just like Iron Man went back to Western times or something? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. We got Pepper Potts, who, like I said, I already have, so now I have 3. And then Aurora, who I think I have. And then another Brothers Grimm. It's nice to have a duo. And then another of those goons. Really hoping that I get Death's Head, but we will see. I won't be too torn up if I don't, but I just think it'd be fun to have. I showed in one of those sets, I got another of the rings. This one has a red star. The first one I got, I think this was the first one, was a blue diamond. And I just got another one, and it's like a green long piece. Green cylinder. Okay, so this pack we have Meter, don't know who that is. We have Controller, who I believe I already have a figure of, but that's okay. And then all duplicates. We have Susan Hammer, we have Dreadnought, and we have Spider again. It's probably the most disappointing one so far, but that's okay. I don't really mind having more than one of the Hammer or Spider because they're really cool. And like even the Dreadnought, I can just use as like generic robots if I do some kind of futuristic campaign. Next one, ooh, this is exciting. I like Alpha Flight, so we got Sasquatch as a bigger figure. I always like when I get the bigger figures, it makes me feel like I'm really getting bang for my buck. And then we got Shaman. We have Snowbird. We have Guardian, which I believe I already have that Guardian. And then another duplicate of that Crouch Down Puck. 2 more, and no Death's Head yet, so if I get Death's Head in the last one, people are probably going to think this was like rigged or I did it on purpose or something. I did not, guys. Another disappointing one. I got another Sasquatch, which is fine, because he works as kind of just a big creature that I could probably use for even just like D&D. But the rest is all duplicates. We got that same Iron Man. We got Freak. We got a Happy Hogan, which is nice to have. Again, nice NPC. People like Freak, that's not really an NPC. I guess I could use it as like somewhat a gamma irradiated person or something. Dreadnought, which I didn't get in this video yet, but I do have one from one of the lots I got off eBay. So this is our last hope for a Death's Head figure. We got another Justin Hammer. We got North Star to go with my Aurora. We've got Tony Stark halfway between having the suit on. We've got Scarecrow. And Thunderbolt of the Wrecking Crew. I think that might have been the Wrecking Crew member I hadn't got yet, so that's nice to have. But no Death's Head, so that's a little disappointing, but like I said, I'm not too torn up about it. Yeah, I think that's it for this video, so thank you for watching my haul, and if you enjoyed, consider subscribing, or have a good day.